Well, let's kickstart the show by taking a look at the AGP Million from the Royal Western India Turf Club at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Every year, the AGP Million promises to be a lot of fun with lots of excitement, glitz, glamour, entertainment and whatnot, as Ashwin Gwani makes sure that the surround around horse racing is very well taken care of. Take a look at this race run over 1200 meters for 3-year-olds.
The racing season in Mumbai is the crowning glory of racing in the country. No other centre has the ability to pull off events combining racing and lifestyle quite like the RWITC here in Mumbai. And adding one more feather to their already heavily adorned cap was the Provogue-AGP Multi-Million race day on Sunday, 16th February. It was a combination of thrilling racing action, colour, entertainment, glamour and celebrity power all rolled into one power-packed day. The Provogue-AGP Multi-Million is in its third year and it is known to attract the who's who of Mumbai. Page 3, Bollywood, theatre. All of these made their presence felt this year as well, with many familiar faces coming around to the track to witness an afternoon showcasing the best of what the city has to offer.
With me is the man of the moment for today's race day, Mr. Ashwin Gwani of AGP Productions. AGP Million, how did it all begin for you?
Well, it started like a tribute to my daughter. That's what it was. And now it's built to the third year. And we're growing from here on to build a sport.
Right. Every year you have a lot of entertainment, glitz, glamour, something that is very conspicuous and synonymous to the AGP Million, which doesn't happen on regular race days. What do you have to say about that?
Well, we're just trying to set a different standard and bring a different experience to Mumbai. And I think people are looking for something special to do on a Sunday. There's not much to do in Mumbai on Sunday besides just going to movies and seeing some of the theatre. That's about it.
Shifting focus back to racing, what really got you intrigued and enter horse racing per se?
Well, it's a great sport. It's a lifestyle sport. It's got derivatives with theatre, and a lot of plays have been written on the racing scene, and that's where the inspiration really connected.
Avid racegoers will know that yesteryear Bollywood superstar Feroz Khan was an avid racing enthusiast and a regular at the races. It was no surprise then that his son Fardeen Khan, who was also the face of Provogue for many years, made an appearance on the day.
My father was an avid racer and he owned a lot of horses. So I've actually been coming here to this track since I was a child. And it's great to be back. I haven't come here for about at least 7-8 years. And it's great to be back, brings back a lot of memories.
So now your father was a patron of horse racing. Do you plan to buy a couple of fillies, colts?
I've always wanted to for his sake, but haven't really got down to it. You know, he was very involved in owning horses and you know, the history of horses and horse breedership, and he knew what to buy and what not to buy and so on and so forth. And I don't have the same knowledge, but I hope to maybe partner with someone who can guide me maybe.
What do you think of the race day today? AGP Million year on year promises a lot of excitement, entertainment, etc.
Extremely happy to be here. As I said, it's brought back a lot of memories, and you know, I've not really been in town that much, meeting a whole bunch of friends after a long time, and plus it's a Provogue event. So, you know, I was associated with Provogue in the past for a long time, and Salil and Nikhil are really close friends. So it's great to be here, you know, happy to be here, meet a lot of old friends and just hang out and have the whole Bombay experience all over again.
While the fringe activities were enough to keep everyone entertained, the racing action, as always, delivered a punch. First, it was a rank outsider who emerged victorious in the feature race of the day, and following that was a feat accomplished by the father-daughter duo of Bezan and Nazak Chinoy that is probably a first in racing history, at least here in India. The duo each led in 2 winners on the day, and it was entirely a family affair, as Bezan's wife Bakhtavar and son Darius led in 2 of the 4 winners as proud owners, which included the feature race of the day, the Provogue-AGP Multi-Million. Their winning streak started off with Penny Lane, saddled by Bezan Chinoy, who clinched the Entrepreneurs Organization trophy over 1600 meters, partnered by YS Srinath in the saddle. The 4-year-old filly came into the race the favourite and justified the tag as she romped home 3 1/4 lengths clear of Double or Quits.
And look at the way it's galloping on the outside. And Penny Lane has gone away. It's about 2.5, 3 lengths in front of Double or Quits. After that is the Gents Glory. Then there is Armel and Run Like the Wind. But Penny Lane well clear of Double or Quits. Penny Lane is the winner from Double Quit, Gents Glory, Run Like the Wind, Armel, Star Prince, then there's Aromatica.
I thought Penny Lane would definitely win because she was given a bad ride last time. She's extremely well bred. She comes from a family that matures a bit late, but I think we've given her plenty of time and experience. I think we can look forward to better things now.
With the father notching up one victory, it was time for daughter Nazaf to step up to the plate. In the subsequent race, as her ward achieved, took home the Nucleus Trophy Division 1 over 1400 meters, partnered once again by YS Srinath.
Star is Born coming up on the inside rails. Grand Duke is on the far side. Then there's Sydney and Star of Babylon. But into the last 300 meters, Saturday Fair comes under pressure as Grand Duke on the far side takes up the running. Then in third place is Earth Tamer. On the inside is Sydney, followed by Achieve and Skalanaya. But as they go into the last 100 meters, it is Grand Duke now. Grand Duke by about a neck in front of Earth Tamer coming up on the outside. Achieve on the inside rails, gets a clear run and pulls it off. Achieve in the last 100 meters pulls it off from Earth Tamer, Skalanaya, Saturday Affair. Then there was Oriental Masti, Grand Duke, Rubens, Sydney.
With that, it's a good time now for us to take a break on the winning post. More horse racing action follows on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
The third victory for the family came with the feature race of the day, the Provogue-AGP Multi-Million. 10 runners came into the fray for the contest to be run over a trip of 1200 meters. Vision of Romance from Kuji Katrak stable was coming into the contest with a success record of 1 win and a second place finish from as many starts. The 3-year-old had run second to be safe in the Group 3, the Kunigal Stud Breeders Produce Stakes, and enjoyed the maximum share of support from the markets on account of that. David Allen was on board. The Malaysia Naredu trained Zenofik was coming into the contest on the back of a win on debut in the Pradeep Vijayakar Trophy Division 1 over 1000 meters and enjoyed a fair share of crowd support on account of that. She was partnered by YS Srinath in the saddle, who was looking at securing a hat-trick with this race. An unlikely albeit worthy contender here, as was displayed by his performance, was Joshua from Basin Chinoy stable, with NS Parmar holding his reins. The 3-year-old had nothing going for him as he was making his debut, and that too with a field that had considerable experience over him. But what followed is the stuff that could be called the true essence of horse racing.
They're off and racing for the Provogue-AGP Multi-Million. Losing about 4-5 lengths at the start, there's Iridescence. And as they settle down to race, Jolene hits the front, a length and a quarter in front of Don Corleone in second position. 2 lengths further back there's Zenofik, then comes Kazuri. On the outside is Joshua making a slight forward move. Towards the inside race is Rule Down Under, then comes Vision of Romance, Simply Sweet. A length and a quarter further back there's Flashing Shiftin, and the back markers Iridescence. Jolene about a length and a quarter in front of Don Corleone coming up on the outside to join Jolene. About 2 lengths further back there is Zenofik, then comes Joshua. Towards the inside race there's Rule Down Under. After that there is Kazuri. On the outside there is Vision of Romance as they straighten up for home. A little over 400 to go. Don Corleone takes it up. About a length and a half, 2 lengths in front of Joshua making rapid progress on the outside. In the middle there's Zenofik, then comes Kazuri. On the wide outside there is Vision of Romance. With about 200 meters more to run, Joshua in command, about a length in front of Zenofik, and here comes Vision of Romance with a good run on the outside. Then there's Don Corleone with about 100 meters more to run, and Joshua is not going to be caught. Stretching out nicely there. Joshua is about 2 1/4 lengths in front of Vision of Romance is only second. After that there is Zenofik, followed by the other runners as they race past the finish.
After lurking at the back of the field for the better part of the trip, Joshua responded to jockey NS Parmar's urgings at the business end of the race and surged ahead to cross the winning post a length and a half clear of favourite Vision of Romance, with Zenofik taking the third. The rank outsider stunned one and all with his performance, and more so his trainer, who despite having meticulously trained the colt, did not think he had it in him to take it away.
I really didn't fancy him so much. He's been working well, and I know he's a nice horse, but he still hasn't matured, and I still think there's a lot of improvement in him. So I was very pleasantly surprised. We'll probably run him in a race next month, and then I'll put him away for Pune.
The bounty of wins for the Chinois was not over yet, as one race later, Nazak struck once again with her charge Brynhild, who managed to ward off Sherlock Holmes and Habian to take home the A-Geddes plate over 1200 meters. And the victory added one more to NS Parma's kitty, with each of the jockeys scoring a double.
In the center is Brynhild from Habibia. It's Brynhild from Habibia. It's Brynhild holds on from Habibia. Sherlock Holmes, Electo, Gloria. After this tacky on Fortune.
A feat like this is rare to come by and probably a first in the history of horse racing in India. The father-daughter duo were understandably at a loss for words when quizzed about their feelings at this accomplishment.
Feels really good. It's very, very gratifying. You know, we work very hard, so it's great, very gratifying.
It's been a delightful day, my first double. All credit to my team and thank you very much to them. Makes all the years of worthwhile.
As the presentation honours were given away, it became evident that this is one day that will be remembered by not just the Chinois, but everyone else as well, for the sheer improbability of the day's events.
From Mumbai, now we take a flight straight to Hyderabad and take a look at the Golconda Derby 2014 run at the Hyderabad Centre. This is for 4-year-old fillies and coals, run over 2,400 meters. Take a look.
Allender came out and won the McDowell Signature Indian Derby in sublime fashion to snatch victory away from the favourites. And while his win will certainly be talked about for many months to come, another outsider pulled off something similar to take home the Deccan Bookmakers Golconda Derby 2 weeks before Allender's super run. The Deccan Bookmakers Golconda Derby is a Group 1 race open to thoroughbreds 4 years old only and is run over a trip of 2,400 meters. This year's renewal saw 11 thoroughbreds come into the parade ring. However, all eyes were focused on the Eskanpati trained Southern Emperor, who was coming into the contest on the back of 3 consecutive wins over in Mysore. The 4-year-old had then run second to Turf Striker in the Bangalore 2000 Guineas over 1600 meters on 14th December and enjoyed the maximum share of support from the markets on account of that. V. Shrikant rode him for the occasion. Another one to watch out for was Sovereign Rule from J.S. Dhariwal's yard, who although had run 7th to Turf Striker in the Bangalore 2000 Guineas, had earlier won 2 consecutive races and was looking at getting back his winning form with B. Lewis holding his reins. Roses in Bloom from S.A. Shehzad Abbas's yard was coming into the contest with a success record of 5 wins from 10 starts. The filly had run 4th at her previous start, the Group 2, the Golconda Oaks, over the Derby trip and was looking at improving on that performance with Suraj Naredu on her back. With the 4-year-olds all lined up at the starting gates, the starter set them off.
They are off and racing for the Deccan Bookmakers Golconda Derby Stakes Grade 1 to a fairly even break at the gates by all the runners. And as they settle down to race, Pursuit of Fame, just the leader, a length in front of Southern Emperor fighting for his head. On the outside, making rapid progress to be well in touch with the leaders, is racing ahead. A length and a half further back there is Crown Emperor. Very close behind them is Kallu Mama towards the inside rails. On the outside, there's Apparition. 2 lengths further back there is Sovereign Rule in the white cap. On the outside, on the fence there is the Vocation. Then comes Castle Stewart. On the outside of Castle Stewart, there is Vijay Splendor, and about 2.5 lengths away is Roses in Bloom. They've just crossed the 1800 meter marker, and Pursuit of Fame about half a length in front of racing ahead in second position. Right on the tail of these two is Crown Emperor. Another 2.5, 3 lengths further back there, Southern Emperor in 4th spot. After that, there is Kallu Mama on the inside rails. On the outside, Apparition. 2 lengths further back there is Sovereign Rule. A length and a half further back there's Vocation. Then comes Vijay Splendor. Towards the inside rails, there is Castle Stewart on the outside. Now, going slightly ahead of Castle Stewart is Roses in Bloom. They're coming into the backstretch now with racing ahead has gone ahead about a length and a 3/4 in front of Pursuit of Fame in second position. A length and a half further back there's Crown Emperor. Towards the inside rails, a length away is Southern Emperor. On the outside is Apparition. 2 lengths further back there is Sovereign Rule on the outside. Kallu Mama towards the inside rails. Right with them is Vocation. A length and a half further back there is Vijay Splendor. Then comes Roses in Bloom, and still lying last there is Castle Stewart. Past the 1000 meter marker now, and it's racing ahead, maintaining about 2 lengths over Pursuit of Fame, getting closer. Another 3.5, 4 lengths further back there's Sovereign Rule, also has made rapid progress to be well in touch with the leaders. The length and a half further back there's Vocation. On the outside there is Apparition. Very close behind them is Vijay Splendor. Then comes Roses in Bloom. Dropped suddenly back to this third last position is Southern Emperor. He's got 2 behind him, and that's Castle Stewart, and out of the running there is Crown Emperor as a straighten up for home. A little over 400 to go, and Pursuit of Fame once again rests the issue from Sovereign Rule coming up nicely on the outside. A length and a half, two further back there's Roses in Bloom, then comes Southern Emperor on the wide outside. Invocation also with them with about 250 meters more to run, and Sovereign Rule is now fighting it out from Pursuit of Fame, and then there's Roses of Bloom coming in the picture now on the wide outside there, Southern Emperor with about 100 meters more to run, and it's Sovereign Rule now being strongly challenged on the outside by Roses in Bloom, but it's Roses in Bloom on the outside who just about wins it from Sovereign Rule finishing up second, then comes Southern Emperor only third, after that there is Pursuit of Fame.
Roses in Bloom travelled at the tail end for most of the trip, but when it came to the business end of the race, the filly responded well to Suraj Naredu's urgings and forged ahead in the last 150 meters, crossing the wire with half a length to spare over Sovereign Rule, while Southern Emperor had to settle for third. Roses in Bloom handed her master his third Derby winner, and Shehzad Abbas was understandably emotional as he led in his charge.
Thank you for staying with us on The Winning Post. Now let's take a look at the weekend horse racing action, a look at the top contenders of the Poonawalla Breeders Multi Million this weekend.
After hosting some spectacular race days through the season, the RWITC is gearing up to host another one that is expected to be second only to the Indian Derby. The Poonawalla brothers ring in the silver jubilee of the Poonawalla Breeders Multi Million this year, a race aptly considered the juvenile derby. With the first family of racing at the helm of things, it is obvious that racegoers will be treated to the best on offer as they make their way to the races this Sunday.
It all started after the concept of the Cartier Million and the Magic Million, and Cyrus and myself took the lead over there, as the Punawalla brothers have always done together, and the breeders came along with us. It was all decided in the breeders meeting in Bangalore at the Ashoka Hotel, and birth took place. That was 1 million rupees in those days, and today I believe it's going to be 18 million. I only wished it could have touched 20 million today, but that's that. It's a big figure. Obviously, it's the second largest prize money in India, and obviously for 3-year-olds is the largest prize money, and it's virtually a juvenile derby.
This is, I'm sure you all know, the 25th running. It's the silver jubilee of the Poonawalla Breeders Multi-Million race, and from where to where it has grown. I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, possibly it will cross the 1 crore and 75 lakh mark, almost probably touching 2 crores. And this way, race was founded as a kind of a promotion and an encouragement for the juveniles. And the breeders got together initially, and there were no takers really to lay the strong foundation. It was the Poonawalla family who took up the gauntlet and said, no, we'll make sure that this race not only is started off well, but even develops into one of the most important and rightly dubbed as the juvenile derby of the youngsters. And the race also has a lot of glamour. They've been very, very innovative from the time, because I've been watching their progress very closely, and I feel that, you know, every year they come up with something or the other. They came up with the prize for the nomination of the first 4, like a contest of skill, and they had various cars. This year, of course, the car on offer is a Renault Duster. They have several other prizes, consolation prizes. There's a beautiful fashion show. There is music and absolutely fun and entertainment. So it's not only just a very, very important race for the juveniles, but also something for those who may or may not be that keen only on horses, but want to have a wonderful afternoon at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. And this is one of those days after the Indian Derby that obviously attracts one of the largest crowds.
It definitely is the biggest race for the 3-year-olds in the country. It's like the Indian Derby for 3-year-olds. and we trainers tend to push our horses a bit too much to come out and win this race. But unfortunately, very few Poonawalla Million winners have come out to win the Indian Derby.
There will be a number of interesting races lined up for the day, and the feature race of the day will be the Punawala Breeders Multi Million Grade 1 that sees the country's top juveniles in contention. The race is for 3-year-olds only and is run over 1400 meters. The competitive field is expected to line up for the Punawala Breeders Multi Million, and a couple of them will be highly fancied. The most talked about horse is Be Safe from Malesh Naredu stable, who has had a fantastic run of 3 wins from as many starts. The MAM Ramaswamy owned colt romped home in the Group 3 the Kunigal Breeders Produce Stakes with Bree Shrikant on board, and having been unbeaten in his career so far, will be the one they all will have to beat.
Of course, Be Safe has done nothing wrong till today, and just keeping my fingers crossed and hoping for the best. Yes, he's a horse who trains himself, and he has so much of himself and gives his best in the race, which showed in his last start, and I hope he produces the same run.
Those that will look to upset the universal favourite would be Shivalik Storm from Kuji Katrak stable, who has a success record of 2 wins from 3 starts. The gelding had run third to Be Safe in the Group 3 the Kunigal Breeders Produce Stakes, and he was not too far back either. Shivalik Storm followed that up with a victory in the Group 3 Gulas Poonawalla Million, and looks the one who would not go down without a fight. Solomon from Pacey Shroff's yard is another who looks like a tough contender as well. The Bay Colt will be coming into the contest on the back of a victory here in Mumbai in the Alaraka Gold Trophy over 1200 meters. And with Trevor Patel on board, in all likelihood, is sure to make sure the others work for their oats. Quasar, who ran second to Solomon in the Alaraka Gold Trophy, will be coming into the contest looking to reverse the form on Solomon. The Chestnut Colt ran third in the BK Ratansi Memorial Maiden Multi-Million over 1200 meters on Indian Derby Day, and will be looking at shedding his maiden status in this one.
Cows are still a maiden, but I personally think he has a lot of ability, and he needs a little trip. I still think 7 will be a little short for him, but a race like this for the 3-year-old, I have to take my chances with him.
Of the fillies, the Dallas Todiwala trained Tatiana is one who looks like she is on sock. Having had just 1 start so far, she's probably the one with the least experience, but if a successful performance on her debut, the Jastanwala Gold Cup over 1400 meters, is anything to go by, one can be assured that the filly will ensure that the boys have their work cut out for them.
She's a very good filly. She's a bit temperamental. She won very impressively, better than what I thought she'd win. And Jimmy Fortune rode a super race on her, but I think at this stage, Be Safe seems to be the most mature and forward horse, winning 3 races with all his 3 starts, and it'll be very, very difficult to turn the tables on him. I'll tell you, she'll give a very good account of herself, and if she behaves well, I just might upset him.
Normally, it's been a very, very big field. Almost 16 to 18 horses take place. There are no penalties whatsoever. And therefore, logically speaking, the horse with an experience and who has won 1 or 2 or 3 races obviously has a big advantage. This year we have Be Safe, winner of 3 races in 3 starts, and the 3rd start was so impressive that to me, I think she's something which stands head and shoulder compared to the rest of the field. The only close competition, in my opinion, could be emerging from Shivalik Storm. Yeah, Shivalik Storm is that horse which ran very close and has performed well, but subsequent runs of Be Safe has proved that much superior horse. And another one which caught my eye is a winner on debut, Titiana. I think that is with Dallas. Yeah, that's the one which impressed me quite a lot on the maiden victory with Jimmy Fortune in the saddle. She won very impressively, quickened when asked to go. I think perhaps barring these 3, of course, it's after all racing, but I feel that barring accident or bar shouting, Be Safe is the horse which is my absolute first choice with these 2, the possible dangers.
With past winners like Hachiko and Muroy, the winner of this year's edition too is expected to go on to achieve greatness and will have some big shoes to fill.
with that, it's a wrap on this power-packed episode of The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. Remember, if you missed something, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and also on Twitter. For regular horse racing updates, follow this handle @Mohit Lalwani on Twitter. Until the team Winning Post sees you next week again, may the horse be with you.
Yes.